All right, good morning. So, welcome to your Friday AP World Week 29 Zoom meeting. How exciting is this? I know, I'm trying to feign my excitement here. Today you have a couple things going on that I do want to mention. In case you haven't seen on Edsby, I did post a message about a half an hour ago that had the LEQ prompts that we will be using for this weekend. So if you can access Edsby during this meeting, I would pull it up just so you can see the prompts and you can have them in front of you. In that post, I also told you that on Monday I have a doctor's appointment, so I cannot host a meeting at 9 a.m., but I am going to have one at 9:30. So Monday only, I am hosting a Zoom meeting at 9:30, not 9 a.m., just because I have a doctor's appointment that I cannot miss. Because, like, your girl's 8.5 months pregnant. So, in case you forgot, I I need to be at that meeting. I need to be at that doctor's appointment. So I will be here and on Zoom at 9:30. So only a half an hour delay. All my Zoom meetings have been pushed back. So please keep that in mind. I posted it on Edsby as well as the Zoom invite already. Now, when I post it and you click on it, does it add to your calendar? Thumbs up, thumbs down? No, you have to kind of remember. I wasn't sure. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do it any differently, so I can't tell you. I'm so sorry. I don't really know how to do it. But so there has been a shift in Zoom meeting on Monday. Instead of 9, it's 9:30 for AP World. So thank you for your understanding and your patience with that. I do appreciate it. Another thing I do want to say, today you do have a vocab quiz. Your vocab quiz today is on week 1 words. It's already on Edsby. It's been live since midnight. So please today, make sure you take that. You have till midnight tonight to do it. Now, I had a bunch of people take it already. I've had a bunch. I've probably had like 12, 15 of you take it already. Some of you are real night owls. Now, I will say I've been up at midnight and I've been working till like 1:30 because like I go to sleep and I can't sleep, so I get up and I work. But like, damn, some of you are up late. With that being said, at this point, Edsby is working for me on the quizzes for AP World and AP Psych. So some of you keep having issues and it's the same people. If you're having the same issues every time you do it, it's now not becoming 100% my fault. So if you're taking an Edsby quiz and you're doing it at like midnight, like I had like 10 or 12 of you do, and you're having an issue, that's kind of on your end. Does that make sense? Because if you're taking it at like 10 o'clock when we get off here, yeah, there's tons of Edsby traffic, but at midnight, it's kind of on you. So when you're taking an Edsby quiz, and eventually you will take an Edsby test, you need to be making sure if you've had a problem on one device, you should use a different device. If you've been having problems with Edsby, you should be trying to do it at odd times. And if you're doing it at odd times and you're still having problems, like there's not much I can do. Like there's really not. Like your girl has tried everything and is doing everything. So I'm not saying it's 100% your fault, but like AP Psych has already taken 3 vocab quizzes and has done a test successfully. And at this point, it's completely the same. As you've seen throughout this whole process, anytime it's my fault, I have taken full responsibility. Can we agree? Thumbs up? Okay, so anytime that there's a massive problem, I have taken full responsibility and I've addressed it and I have told you I will curve and stuff like that. But I keep having the same people email me, you need to try something a little bit different, help a girl out. Yes, thumbs up, everyone clear on that? So if there's an error, of course, reach out. If there's like an epic fail, please reach out. But if every single time you're doing something on Edsby and there's a problem, you need to try something a little bit different. Can we agree? Thumbs up. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, what's up, Arlie? Yeah, it didn't in bed. Okay. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me retry because it should have embedded. Thank you for mentioning it because, like, you know. Because sometimes it'll cross post and sometimes it won't. So I didn't have time to check. All right, I just posted it. So I posted it to first and it looks like it's there. It looks like it's on second. Okay, perfect. So it's not very, it's literally just says LEQ prompt. There's no problem. No. Thank you for saying something because, like, it should have been there because it should have cross-posted, but it clearly didn't. All right. So, like you just saw, if there's an error on Edsby, I'm more than happy to fix it, and I'm more than happy to take responsibility, but you guys got to help me out, especially if you keep having problems. You need to change a device. If you keep using your phone to do the quizzes and you keep having problems on your phone, please try something else. Like, I just need your help on that. Anyway, all right, so today you have a LEQ that was due to me 7 minutes ago. So keep in mind that deadlines are not technology issues. Deadlines are not technology issues. So if you can't hit my deadlines for turning things in, I'm going to call you out and then I will take points off. Is everyone clear on that? Thumbs up? Okay. So if you are having a technology issue, then you need to type it out to me and tell me, like, hey, Bennett, I can't figure this out, and I will help you problem solve. I have no problem with technology issues. You will never, ever, 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 ever be punished for technology issues. But turning in things late, that is time management. Everyone can see the difference? Thumbs up? Okay, so there's a big difference between technology issues and time management. So please make sure that you are hitting your times. So let's talk about what we have for homework this week, just like we would do in class, to make sure everyone is clear on exactly what is the expectation for this weekend, to make sure everyone is as successful as possible. So pulling up the AP World Week 29 review week schedule that we talked about yesterday. Today, as you can see, is Friday. We have week 1 vocab, which means you're just doing the top 10 words of week 1. Today in class, you should have already by now turned in your LEQ because it was due 9 minutes ago. We are going to go over the essay formats here in a second for the SAQs, and then we're going to begin planning SAQs and begin planning the SAQs in class today. For homework, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to finish writing your SAQs and you are going to be writing an LEQ over the weekend. So you have essentially 5 essays, 4 SAQs, 1 LEQ. That is what we're going to be spending time in class working on. Now, keep in mind that your SAQs and LEQs are what we're expecting to be on the AP exam. We are not writing any DBQs in any of the writing weeks because there's no way they can have you do it by the time in the 45 minutes you're supposedly taking this test, but we'll get more information on that on April 3rd. So, thumbs up, thumbs down. Everyone okay with the homework? Everyone is clear? Perfect. All right. I do want to make a personal note of something going forward. With that being said, your girl's 8.5 months pregnant, and I am aware that at some point I am going to have a kid, and so, Hank will eventually be here. With that being said, I am planning on teaching through. If we're doing home education, I'm planning on teaching through. I am working really, really hard to have everything done by next Friday. Like all of your quizzes, all of your tests, and recording lectures and stuff online. Like, your girl is working her butt off. I'm getting like 5 hours of sleep a day, and it's not maybe ideal, but I'm getting a lot done. Well, how is that going to affect you, and how is that going to look going forward? So I'm going to continue doing Zoom meetings every single day going forward. There'll be a day where I don't show up for the Zoom meeting. And then maybe the next day I don't show up for the Zoom meeting. Hey, don't call Plan High School. Do your girl a favor, because she doesn't get paid to go on maternity leave. There'll still be assignments due. You'll have your agendas. You'll know exactly what to do. Maybe not the first day that I'm in the hospital probably, but I will be posting lectures, pre-recorded lectures, so you can at least be watching that. Is everyone okay with that? So like, I am working ahead and I'll be posting lectures ahead of time. So if I'm not at the Zoom meeting, you can at least watch content being covered. You'll have your weekly agendas already there, so you know what you should be doing. And you will already have time quizzes and time tests that are posting to Edsby that will pop up throughout. So as long as like we kind of keep going, that's the plan. So like, your girl is going to keep going, if that's okay. Is that okay with you? Is that okay? Because, like, if I don't show up for a couple Zoom meetings, just don't call Plan on me, okay? So there'll be lectures I'll be posting ahead of time. Edsby will still have all of the quizzes perfectly timed from midnight. If there's ever an error, of course, email me and stuff like that. But I'm planning on kind of keeping going forward and kind of pushing through as far as I possibly can. So that's just what I'm telling you, because no one asked me that question yesterday, and it was like question number 1 of AP Psych. So I thought I might as well head that off now. So that's kind of what we have going forward. So if I just don't show up at a Zoom meeting, just be chill. Check Plan lectures. There'll probably be an embedded lecture. Maybe not that day, because like I'm kind of crazy, but not like super crazy. Like, you know, and McCrae is going to try to post lectures for me if, you know, so we're going to have to figure out a couple little things. So have a little patience with me, but we're going to figure this out. And I've already recorded and done a ton of stuff ahead of time. So we'll be in a pretty good spot. Everyone good? Perfect. So let's talk what you have for homework this weekend. So you have 4 SAQs and 1 LEQ to write. On your SAQs, you should have picked them up. And what does that mean? Before we left for school, I had you pick up a ton of assignments. And on especially 6th period, I definitely had. And then if you were there on the last day of school, I had on the board to pick up assignments. So if you have it, great. If you don't have this, that is also fine. You can just take a picture of my screen. You're not gonna, you know, you can just take out another sheet of paper and you can kind of plan that way. So what is happening, if I can get this to work, because my computer apparently hates me this morning. Don't tell me I clicked out of it. Cancel. Sorry, my Elmo and I are fighting at the moment, which is not a good thing, especially during a writing week component. All right, so let me try this. Perfect. All right, so if you happen to have the assignments that got picked up, this is one of them. You have AP World Short Essays, period 6. Yes. Okay. Can someone tell me if they have it? Yes, no? Thank you. So there's some of you who have it. If you don't have it, I am going to try finding it on my computer. I haven't done that yet. I can try to find it and post the document, but worst case, you can totally take a picture of it, and we're going to work through it in class today. So if you don't have it, I would take a picture of the screen right now and do that for me just to make sure you have it. But I'm going to try finding it on my computer and going forward. So you have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, here is the second prompt. If you do not have it in your possession at the moment, I would take a photo of that one. So here's the second SAQ prompt. You got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you have your third prompt. If you don't have it in front of you, I would definitely take a photo of it. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you have your fourth SAQ prompt. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Then as well, you have an LEQ prompt, which I have already pulled up on I've already posted. I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page before we begin. And if you have it open on your desktop, that'll help. Which one we are doing today is we are going to do number 1 for homework this weekend. So for homework this weekend, you are completing number 1, which is compare and contrast any two revolutions, 1750 to 1914. Choose one from each group: USA, France, or Haiti, Spanish, Latin America. So that is the essay that we are writing for the LEQ. So you have 4 short essays, and then you have 1 long essay. They are due by 9. I'll make it 9 a.m. Just to have some consistency here. It is due by 9 a.m. on Monday morning. So your essays are due by 9 a.m. Monday morning. So please make sure that they are done and ready to go. So one thing that I definitely want to make sure everyone is good at and knows how the formatting of your SAQ essays should go, and then we'll start doing some plans and getting going here. So SAQs is kind of the focus of the day. Yesterday we talked about our LEQ prompts as we planned out our essays. Okay, yesterday we talked about LEQ prompts. We talked about restating, time period, 3 aspects, contextualization, all in your thesis paragraph. Then we talked about in your actual paragraphs, restating with the period, correct answer, explanation of answer. You need 2 pieces of evidence, and of course, synthesis. This is, of course, your long essay question. So you wrote one last night, so everyone should be feeling pretty good about that. Any questions on how to write an LEQ, just to make sure we're all okay? Thumbs up. LEQ? What? It should have reference before, during, and after, or how it stayed the same. For sure, in the continuity. Absolutely. It should have referred to those stages throughout, because that's how you would have completely answered the question. I don't know who you are. Oh, thank you, Katarina. Sorry, it's a little slow when I'm in this form. So, all right. So, everyone else okay on LEQ? Perfect. All right, so SAQ formats. Now, keep in mind, we haven't really discussed SAQs in a little bit, so this is something you should definitely be listening to, and you have 4 of them for this weekend, so it is definitely a huge deal that you should be following. So when we talk about SAQs, remember, they are not thesis-based. They are not thesis-based. They are not thesis-based. So when you do an SAQ, you have to restate the prompt, of course, using similar language. Okay, you need to use whatever time period that they reference, and you need to correctly answer the prompt. All of this should be in 1 sentence. Okay, then in your second sentence, you explain why your answer is correct. So whatever it is, you're just explaining. So this is your second sentence, and then you have to provide evidence for why you're correct or whatever the answer is, and that is your third sentence. So sometimes you could do it in 3. Sometimes I know it takes me 4 sentences to write. Should you ever be writing 5 sentences, 6 sentences, 7 sentences for an SAQ? Absolutely not, unless it is a super complicated one, which they're not supposed to be writing super complicated ones anyway, because it's supposed to be a short answer question. So if you did not take a photo of this, I would totally take a photo of this to make sure you are absolutely ready and prepared for your 4 SAQs that you are writing this weekend. So I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to do that. Okay, so let's look at our short answer questions and let's begin planning that. Is everyone okay if we start planning? Hello? Does that sound good? Perfect. All right, so AP World Short Essay Questions, period 6. Okay, so I'll zoom in so you guys can help and read. If you have it out, I would have it. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal because we're going to be planning and you can take a photo of it and read it and do it. We're trying to make things work here, people. All right, so use the 2 passages below in your knowledge of world history to answer all parts of the question that follow. Source 1. It seems in hindsight that the Cold War is inevitable. From the very beginning of the Russia-American relationship, the ideologies of the two nations were fundamentally incompatible. Founded in 1776, the United States was Republican and Democratic. Russia, on the other hand, was an old autocracy, hostile to democracy, xenophobic, and known for ruthless suppression of its numerous subjects. There was never another factor that seemed to make eventual conflict between the two nations inevitable. Both were expansionist states whose respective spheres of interest would eventually expand to the global dimensions. So Powski is the name of the author, and he says it's essentially inevitable. Okay? Russia versus U.S. If you had to summarize it, that's what you would probably write. Source 2. Some scholars argue the Cold War began in 1917 to 1920 with the first ideological, political, and military clashes between the USSR and the West. But most scholars believe that it makes more sense to place the start of the Cold War in the mid-1940s with American and Soviet leaders of the military power, the economic resources, and determination to engage in a far-flung and intense ideological, political, military, and cultural struggle for influence. So Levering, debating the origins. Okay, so this guy is essentially saying that the Cold War could have started earlier, 1917, but most agree 1940s. Okay, so are these two ideas similar or different? Similar, for sure. They're definitely similar. Both of them are kind of both saying that the war, it would have happened anyway. They're just kind of discussing the causes of it. So, identify and explain one piece of historical evidence that would support Powski's interpretation about the origins. So, we need one piece of historical evidence that would support Powski's interpretation about the origins of the Cold War. So Powski is source number 1, that it is inevitable, Russia versus the United States. Now keep in mind, in Powski, he's talking about the American Revolution versus the autocracy of Russia. All right, so what do we got? Oh, geez, people. Oh, geez. Well, I'm not going to sit here and do it. How many are you? There is how many of you? Out of 43 of you, no one has an answer. That's cool. I'll sit here in silence. It'll be nice. The Constitution, it wouldn't work, and I appreciate that answer. I don't know who was that. Alexa? Thank you, Alexa, if that was you. I you can't say, essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to say that what we need to say is somehow that these two were inevitably going to fight. So you can't just say the Constitution, and you can't say it's because one believes in democracy while one believes in autocracy, because they've already said those answers. But I appreciate it. So communism versus capitalism is what the Cold War is. So no, because he's arguing that from the start, the answer, they were going to be fighting. So we need to use an example from previous, and you can't use something that is clearly Cold War.
Could you use the fact that Russia was not included in all the benefits after the First World War, and partially blame the U.S. for that because they were part of it?
Are you talking, like, you have to use specifics, because right now you haven't used any specifics, Haley, and I like where you're going. So you just said benefits after World War I. You have to be specific.
Could you say the breaking up of the Ottoman Empire and the different empires that were in?
In what part document is that a part of, or what group is that a part of, or give me something, girl. You haven't used any of your vocab terms. Anyone can help Haley out? Treaty of Versailles, they're going to be excluded from. You could talk about that for sure. So we could talk about the Treaty of Versailles. Mandate system would be a better answer, which also comes out of World War I. Yes, do we remember these things? Hello? Yeah? Okay. So, identify and explain one piece of historical evidence that would support Powski's interpretation about the origins of the Cold War. So, if you wanted to talk about the Treaty of Versailles, that's fine. Okay, so we have to show how it's a conflict, like Haley said. USSR is left out of distribution of resources / spoils post World War I, leads to mistrust and hostility between USSR and US. Okay, so what is our evidence? Guys, we're not going to get through like anything if none of you will talk to me. Oh man, this is great. I don't mind the silence. I was thinking I've talked too much. Yeah, we can. League of Nations would be a great example. League of Nations, USSR is excluded. Absolutely. Hell yeah, Arlie. That's a great answer. League of Nations would be our specific piece of evidence, for sure. All right, so A is done, because keep in mind, when we do an SAQ, we need to have a restating of the prompt. We need to address the period, which you'll get, correctly answer, explain why your answer is correct, which I went into way too much detail for you. Oops, don't worry, I won't do that again. And then I have correct evidence, which is my specific evidence is League of Nations, and what you're going to describe in that last sentence is, of course, the USSR is excluded. You need to explain why, though, why they're excluded, okay, and maybe a problem that arises because of it, or something to that. You need to either explain why they were excluded and why is it a problem. All right, so let's look at B. Identify and explain one piece of historical evidence that would support Levering's interpretation about the origins of the Cold War. So remember, Levering, he was talking about the Cold War could have started early in 1917, but most agree it's in the 1940s. So we need to come up with an example of why the Cold War essentially starts in the 1940s. So if you've already talked in this meeting with 40-something people, you are not allowed to answer this question going forward. I'm so sorry. There's you 48 or however many people you are at this point are 44 participants are the smartest kids in your class. So let's hear from other people. So what is an example that happened in the 1940s that could cause the Cold War?
Did you talk about Truman deciding to drop the atomic bombs after a bunch of Russians were killed?
Okay, so Kaden, start your argument again, because I didn't hear the beginning.
Truman decided to drop the atomic bombs that they had after a bunch of Russians died and they lost a ton of their military.
Okay, so you're correct about the atomic bomb. That's a good answer for B, but your historicalization of it is a little off. Can someone help clean up Cadence's a little misconception with the historical component of it? Stalin is definitely pissed about the atomic bombs, but why? Yes, there you go. So it's not, because keep in mind, we don't tell them until the very end when we're about to use them on Japan. And so there you go. So it's a little, your thinking was a little out of order, Cadence, but you're completely correct. So use of atomic bombs. Okay, so it's kept from Stalin. Okay, when he finds out, and you're obviously going to have to clean this up. They exist. He is pissed. You obviously can't write this. You have to clean this up, but this is easy shorthand notes for you. Use of atomic bombs kept from Stalin when he's pissed. Okay. Now, we need evidence here. So he's pissed. Why is he pissed? Just like Kaden said, millions of Russians die. Unnecessarily, according to him. Unnecessarily, according to Stalin. So keep that in mind. Now, what is our evidence going to be? Keep in mind, if you've already spoken, you're not allowed to participate at this point. So the 44 of you, 48 of you now, 47, are up. Let's go. Hell yes. I don't know who you are who just said that, but hell yeah. Potsdam Conference. Okay. And why is the Potsdam Conference the correct piece of evidence here, whoever you are? There you go. There you go. This is when the U.S. announced to Stalin the bombs exist. Perfect. Nice job. I'm so sorry. I don't know who you are, and it's not telling me who you are, so please don't think that I don't care about you. All right, perfect. All right, let's look at C. I've run out of room on this paper, so I'm just going to add another sheet of paper. So C. From the two interpretations above, select, I don't know what sleeve means, but select the one that, in your opinion, better accounts for the origins of the Cold War. Briefly explain your choice by using additional evidence beyond the answers to A or B. So which one do you think is easier to argue? The fact that the Cold War started pre-1940s or it started in the 1940s? What do we think? One of the 48 of you who haven't spoken. In the 1940s, I agree. All right, here we go. So who can give me another reason why the Cold War starts in the 1940s besides the use of the atomic bomb that Caden so graciously gave us?
Maybe there was like great focus on the space race.
That's not going to start the Cold War. That's a good answer and would be great evidence for a continuation of the Cold War, but it is not a cause of the Cold War because the space race doesn't really kick off until the 1960s, and we're talking 1940s. Ooh. But the reason why... That would be a really great piece of evidence. I don't think it would... It's not... I don't know. Would we include that? Because it essentially starts in 1947, 48. So it's really early after the war. I don't know. That's a good question. We're doing it. All right, Berlin airlifts. However, the Berlin airlifts will only score if we focus on one way. So who can tell me, someone I haven't spoken to, who can tell me what are the Berlin airlifts? Harrison, I already talked to you, man. I know that. I think I've talked to you twice.
Is it a military zone that Soviets are forcing people into the east?
So, sort of, yeah. So, Berlin is divided. By the four Allied powers. Who can tell me who are the four Allied powers who I haven't spoken to? Miss Moore, I know you haven't spoken to me. All right, here we go, Miss Moore. Absolutely. France, U.S., and Russia. Okay, so Berlin is divided amongst the four Allied powers. Okay, and Russia implemented what? Someone I haven't spoken to, and their side, people. Well, you can't implement a wall. I don't know who said that. They implemented what, people? Comic-Con? Okay, Comic-Con, or Comic-Con is really what? It's the implementation of what, people? Communism. Yes, hello. They're implementing communism. They're implementing communism. Yes. Your evidence can be Comic-Con, for sure. Okay? But they're implementing communism on their side. So, in East Russia, communism was failing. Communism was failing, and the people were starving. U.S., England, France sent food and medical supplies. I'm pretty much writing this answer out for you, which is sad, but here we are. You need to clean this up for your actual essay, but it's pretty practically done because you've got plenty of evidence. Medical supplies, which caused tension. I will tell you, my handwriting is usually terrible during writing week because I'm usually giving you answers and it annoys me. Sort of. I mean, obviously I'm sitting here doing it. But I will tell you, my table that I'm using is also like super like textured. So it's kind of not entirely my fault. So if you're sitting there being like, oh my God, her handwriting is really atrocious. It is pretty atrocious, but it's also the table that I'm blaming as well. So please acknowledge that for me. Thank you very much. So the Berlin airlift was divided. Berlin was divided between England, France, U.S., and Russia. Russia implemented Comic-Con or communism. East Russia, communism was failing, and people were starving. So England, France, and stuff sent food and medical supplies, caused tension. Okay, what is essentially the outcome? Why are we talking about the Berlin airlift? Someone I haven't spoken to. Okay, it creates Berlin Wall. All right, but there's also another component. You're not wrong about the Berlin Wall, which is why I'm writing it down. It creates the Berlin Wall, but there's also another component. What is so special about the Berlin airlifts? It has a title. Well, kind of. I mean, their ego is going to be hit a couple times. But what is the big claim to fame of the Berlin airlifts, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, they do start shooting planes down, but what's the big claim to fame of that?
It's the closest to the Cold War.
Boom. There you go. Perfect. There you go, guys. It's the closest to a hot war. You guys can clean that up when you were writing it this weekend. Closest to a hot war the Cold War gets. All right, so you're going to have to clean that up a little bit, but essentially that's your answer C. So, wow, it only took us 25 minutes to plan out one essay, so woohoo. Oh, geez. Here we go. All right, let's look at number 2. Answer all parts of the question that follows. Identify and explain 3 ways in which the rulers legitimized or consolidated their power during the period of 1900 to present. Use specific examples from one or more states or empires. How exciting! Yes! I love this question. How exciting. All right, what do we got? Someone I haven't spoken to, please. Yes, absolutely. I don't know who you were. I don't know who you are, but yes. So Mao Zedong is a great answer. Okay, and we're going to use the Long March is how he consolidated his power. Okay, now you're going to have to explain how the Long March is going to consolidate his power. Who can explain how the Long March consolidates Mao Zedong's power? Someone I haven't spoken to, please. Well, no, because that would be Jiang Jieshi, who was trying to remove the communists, who started the Long March. So you could use him, but we're going the other way with it.
He wrote a book.
Okay. That's fine. Yes, he did write. Yes, but that's not a great answer. You can use it as evidence, but it's not a great answer. Well, should we pick someone else then? This has been amazing for me because, like, after I finish AP World, I'm usually exhausted. But today I'm going to be I'm so comfortable. I haven't had to talk that much today because you guys have been silent. This is great. He will eventually, but we started with a Long March. So how about we just scratch Mao Zedong because you people clearly don't know a damn thing about him. All right, someone I haven't spoken to.
Do we do Stalin?
Yeah, Joseph Stalin is a good answer. What up, Thomas? Thank you very much. All right, what are we going to use for Stalin?
He did like purges and stuff against his rivals.
What's your evidence?
The Kulak.
Okay, I'll take it. So you want to do, say it again. I'm sorry, I just went blank for it.
Joseph Stalin legitimized his power by doing purges against the Kulaks.
Purges against his rivals. Purges against his rivals. Created gulags to punish. Perfect. All right, we need a little bit more evidence and then we're good to go. So, someone other than Thomas, you can tell me when is he doing this? How is he doing this? He's trying to consolidate power after what? Something. It is, but Who is he trying to rise power against or rise after? Lenin, yes. This is post-Lenin. Okay, so discussing Lenin will be helpful. So it's Stalin, it's purges against his rivals, creates gulags to punish them, and this is post-Lenin to consolidate. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Thomas. All right, what else we got? How are you going to argue that's going to consolidate his power and legitimize him? That'd be my only thing. Because it's... Yeah, it's Gorbachev. It's not a bad answer. It's just not a great answer because I would easily throw out what's going to cause the end of his actual government structure, which would be the Soviet Union. You know what I mean? Of course. I don't know why those weren't the first things we came up with. Of course. They're the most obvious and most flagrant. Except you're not supposed to be talking there, are you, Arlie? Hitler. Ladies and gentlemen, Hitler is in the 20th century. You should have heard his name before, people. How does Hitler consolidate or legitimize his power in the 1900s? Okay, so he implements fascism, fine, but that doesn't answer the question. Fascism would be kind of a piece of evidence, but not enough.
Modernize the military when the League of Nations told us not to.
Okay, what's going to be your specific evidence of that? Yup, that's exactly how I feel about it. Sort of. It's just not a great answer. Guys, it's Hitler. Hello, it's Hitler. What is a big thing Hitler did to make himself more powerful? Harrison, please stop. Yeah, hell yeah. Holocaust is a great answer. Holocaust. And Mia, why is the Holocaust how he consolidated or legitimized his power? Sort of. Who can clean up that answer for Mia? She's not wrong, but it's a little choppy. Guys, why does he create the Holocaust? Yes, yes, yes. He blames everything on the Jews. He blames everything on the Jews. Okay? So, by punishing them, Germany rises. Okay? And guess who's leading Germany when Germany rises? Hitler. See how that worked out for him. So, what is our evidence? How are you tying that to the Holocaust? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. What would be one? Auschwitz. I don't know how to spell Auschwitz. That's Auschwitz. So you're going to have to figure that one out. But yeah, evidence would be Auschwitz. Okay, concentration camp. Absolutely. Guys, you don't have to, you're not creating, a whole new system here. You just have to sit there and you just got to kind of figure it out. You just have to speak in specifics. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need a third person from the 19th century. What do we got? Oh my God, this is sad, people. This is really sad. This is hurting my heart. Hell yeah. I don't know who you are, but that's a bomb answer. Queen Elizabeth II. We got to make sure we got this second in there. Okay, Commonwealth. Creates the Commonwealth. Okay, it is a new take on imperialistic relationships that are more equitable for the the imperialized nations and it's good for England and it's good for England's continued growth. You're welcome for just handing you that because hot damn, that would have taken us forever. Look how slow we've gone, people. Jeez. Continued growth. All right, we need some evidence here. Ghana is a great answer. Ghana, Kenya, any place where you see the royals visit is pretty much Commonwealth. Canada is also a Commonwealth nation, by the way. So just by listing a couple of your Commonwealth countries, there's total, I think, 42 of them today. But yeah, anytime the royals continue to travel and go someplace, that is pretty much a Commonwealth nation. So, all right. One thing I do want to discuss before we end up here. So I did half of your SAQs. I'm not gonna lie, that was painful as hell, people. I don't know if it's because like you're at home and your brains aren't working, but like, damn, that was a little painful. Yesterday, Gus asked me a question about the review in your Barron's book about the units that I mentioned. So one of the things that we talked about yesterday is what the review is going to look like. And Gus, today I have my Barron's book right here with me because I adjusted. So we talked about all the units, and I told you that with the units, they've cut out essentially 1900 to present day, or Unit 6. If you look at your Barron's book, which you need to have by next Thursday, by the way, so if you haven't ordered it, you definitely need to. You will notice that your Barron's book is structured by the units. And this is what I wanted to kind of show you. So it'll help make sense of exactly what I'm discussing when I say units, because I haven't taught you that because I don't think it's particularly helpful, and it's only relevant to my class, which, you know, doesn't help you in your future historical classes. So that's why I don't really teach it to you until the very end. I've never taught units until the end. And people have done just fine with it. So if you looked at your Barron's book, that's how the units are broken up into, and that's what you'll be responsible for. So Gus had that question yesterday of like, what are the units? And I just wanted to come back full circle for you. I hope you don't mind, Gus. I've called you out, and I wanted to make sure I answered that question for you. So I hope that helps. So tonight for homework, and it's due by 9 a.m. Monday morning. 9 a.m. Monday morning. You have all 4 of your SAQs. We've done plan 2. You have 2 more to do. Good luck. And then you also have your LEQ of that I posted and discussed earlier. So you have a very busy AP World weekend. It is a writing weekend, so please make sure that you are taking the time. Here's your LEQ prompt in case you didn't see from earlier. Compare and contrast any 2 revolutions, 1750 to 1914. Choose one from each group: USA, France, or Haiti, Spanish, Latin America. I'm just telling you what I would pick. If I was you, I would compare the Haitian, because I think that one is the easier one. and the United States Revolution, because I happen to know either USA or France, whatever one you would feel more comfortable discussing, because I could do it easily on both of those. But I would pick the Haitian Revolution. You know a good amount about that one. Then the Spanish, actually, the Spanish one you could do pretty well too. So keep in mind as you kind of go forward with that. So you have 5 essays due. 4 short answer, 1 long. Please keep in mind your formats as you go forward. As soon as you finish them, you're more than welcome to turn them in. Yesterday, I had a bunch of you submit your essays early, which is perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. So, all right. So I'm going to kind of wrap up and head out because, you know, it's Friday. Yes, my darling. Hi, Flieger.
Hello, I just joined because I was sitting at your March 30th, your Monday meeting, and I was like, oh my gosh, this Senate is so crazy. And I was sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting for the
Oh,
meeting.
God, you clicked on the wrong meeting? Oh, no.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, this Senate is so late.
No, I am not late.
No.
Sorry, girl. I've recorded this video, so you'll be able to watch everything. I will tell you, your peers were not so fast on their content, so we didn't get as far. We needed you, Flieger. We needed you.
I know. I have to carry this.
So, all right, guys. Any other questions, concerns, comments? Now, I know we're all looking towards a very boring weekend of being quarantined at home, but please make sure you're following the CDC guidelines. Please be making sure you are taking care of yourself and your families and doing the right thing this weekend. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me. I'll begin scoring your SAQs after this, and I'll be posting this video, especially for my girl Flieger. But here we go. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Please stay in. Do not go out. Take care of yourselves. What's up, Marley?
Is the format for the compare and contrast the same as the continuity challenge?
Compare, contrast, essentially. Every time you address the French, you are going to want to address the Americans. You want to be making direct comparisons. Does that help, Arlie? Yeah, you have your thesis and then your 3 content paragraphs. So whatever you say about the French, you have to address for the Americans because you're comparing. Or whatever topics. If you're doing America versus Haiti, then you just have to compare that way. Does that help? All right, perfect. All right, see you guys. 9 a.m. your essays are due. We're meeting at 9:30 because I have a doctor's appointment. See you guys.